Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GT3 DSL Lighting Services Mini Endurance GT3 tonight. Myself commentating with Brendo on the side of me. It's good to see you again, Brendo. It's been really fun, and I should mention our round sponsor, Racecraft Simulations. For our round sponsor, great guy John Lee, sponsoring for the round, and the rest of our sponsors down on the bottom right. And Brendo's on the side of me, and how are you, Brendo?
Yeah, good. It's been a good week, and looking forward to some really good quality racing here at Fuji. Had to download the track myself just now this afternoon. Hadn't had it before in iRacing, so good to see it for the first time, really, for me. And obviously, I'm fairly familiar with the track, but very interesting to see how it goes in iRacing.
Yeah, it's an interesting track. I've done an endurance around here. When the first week it came out, Matt Stewart and I did an endurance and an LMP1 around here. So had some practice around here, and it's an absolute gun track. I love it. Loved it to death, and really good track. And yeah, you'll probably love it when you jump on track. But it's absolutely amazing, and it's first time for everything, kind of jumping in. But here's our race info for tonight. 23 degrees on ambient, and 32 degrees on our track as well. I just had a check. 57 humidity, a bit cloudy, 13 kilometers wind, so it's a bit breezy out there. So you can't go and bake out there. So I can't get my tan. So yeah, unfortunate. But anyway, it's all good. I'll have to go and sunbake out the back, so all good. So, yeah, a bit cloudy this afternoon, so the guys will have a load of grip as per usual in the GT3s. And what have you been racing recently, Brendo? What have you been commentating, I guess, mate?
I mean, I've done a bit of, obviously the Sprintcars on the Tuesday night, done a couple of pop-up Fiat Supercar races here and there. But yeah, it's been interesting, sort of mainly in the GT3s for me lately, and getting to explore a few new tracks that I haven't quite seen over my last little sabbatical over the last 6 months, I suppose. So yeah, really interesting to see some of the new tracks and sort of revisit some of the old ones as well. With some of the new cars, of course, too, that have come out over the last sort of 12 months. So yeah, that's a good thing about iRacing, I suppose. It does keep evolving, and obviously we've had all the new content announced with the hypercars and the BMW and whatnot. So it's going to be really interesting to see next year as well how the leagues respond to all the new content, and obviously the guys like to run the new stuff. Yep. And then you've got your classics with the GT3s and all that kind of, and the Porsche Cups as well. So a bit of a place for everything, as we see a bit of a punt there.
That was
going into the pit lane, yeah, from Peter Pavlik there. Great to see also too that we've now got the AMs and the pros split there on the overlays as well. It makes it really easy for us to see who's racing who. Yeah, it's coming up with both. We're just showing the AMs at the moment on the AM timing screen. Yeah, well, it's a bit of a split difference. So about halfway we get our AMs out. So people like Adam Proctor, Andrew Lydon, Matthew Garden, I think. I keep getting his last name wrong, but Gardner. We've been calling Gardner. Matthew Gerard.
Gerard, my apologies. He just joined Velocity. He was super pumped about that. He did really well last week. He was on the podium for Velocity the first week he was doing with them. So good to see him back into it. He's actually sitting P1 right now by a good 10th. So well done to Matthew. So we go to Andrew Lydon in P2. He's doing really well with the kittens. He's just been doing really well in the AMs in the GT3 last week. He was very consistent, did make a lot of mistakes, but Philippine was such a great round. And you'll not be shocked, Brendo, but who do you think's in P3?
And my screen's just had a bit of a low moment there. Ty Delaney up in P3, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, how's that?
Going to be one of the guys to watch there. The AM battle's really shaping up this season. I think it's pretty competitive, really. You've got Matthew Gerard up there, Andrew Linden and Ty Delaney. You know, Peter Pavlik also in with a chance. You know, Nathan Allen, if he gets a good few laps spun together, he can be really competitive as well. So, you know, the battle for the AM class is pretty tight, really, and it's going to be very interesting as we come down. You know, starting to get into the sort of what, we've got 3 rounds left, is it?
Yeah.
3 after this one.
Yeah.
Or 3.
Yeah.
You know, so running out of time, and the battle's definitely heating up.
It definitely is, and but I think we should talk about like how much people have improved. Like you look at Ty Delaney, Matthew Gerard, you know, Peter Pavlik even he's been proving, you know, keep improving in the KFC car. You know, people like that just keep improving over the weeks we've been doing. I remember the first round we ever commented it, you know, did comms on it, and yeah, it was absolutely unbelievable at Watkins Glen, and it was so much fun. But now we're starting to get to the back half of the rounds. Oh, going wide there, Peter Pavlik. But 2 kittens on the podium now for qualifying, so let's see if they can stay on there.
Yes. The AMs qualify at first, and then the pros qualify the last 15 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, no. So we've got Toddy in the upstairs tonight on the producer booth. Need to give him a shout out because he told us off before. Just making sure everything's working there with him. So yeah, but couple of you know, things to pick up there for Toddy. Obviously, you know, usually you'll see him producing throughout the week. Does the sprint cars with me, and a bit of a step up to the GT3s here tonight for him. Quite a few more cars on track, a lot more cameras to choose from.
Ty Delaney. Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Apology, guys. I've got to cut in, but Ty Delaney's just jumped up to the top with a 1:39.4. What a lap by the little pocket rocket. He's, I reckon he's definitely been stepping up. Oh, someone's around there. I reckon that's Andrew Proctor. I think that was an SLM. Yeah, that was Proctor going around. On board with Ty Delaney. Looking through practice, a lot of the pros were doing sort of low 38s. Or sort of low to mid 38s. So, you know, to see these AM guys now getting into sort of the mid 49s, mid 39s, you know, especially those top few there in the 39s, just shows, you mentioned that improvement. You know, they're not that far away. They're banging on the door of the pro class. Certainly we can probably expect to see some of these drivers, you know, perhaps transition into pro next year. Obviously it'll rely on the results in the early season. Yeah, it's all about results, and but yeah, I think these guys, from their team's point of view, I mean, Ty Delaney's improved, all the Kitten cars are improved, you know, all the Kitten guys are F3 drivers, now they're into your big heavy GT cars, and yeah, they're doing amazing. Matthew Gerard obviously picking up his drive, and you know, he's been improving in the Kiwi car. I remember him being a bit further back. Now he's just slowly getting up the field, and you know, he's sitting in P3 now, which is a massive improvement. But yeah, I think from the improvement standpoint, yeah, it's massive. It's absolutely incredible. It's good to see everyone really improving. What else should we talk about? But obviously we're at Fuji as well. One of our bigger tracks so far. It's good to be at a track that's actually big.
Yeah, and I mean it's gonna encourage a lot of good racing with the pro and the pro am class. Of course, a lot of room to be had here, and you know, of course, this track very long history. You know, now the most recent layout designed by Herman Tilke there, the Formula One kind of screw-up artist when it comes to racetracks. People will praise his work. I personally cannot stand it. I think he makes some of the most boring circuits in the world, but to his credit, when he takes a existing racetrack and adds all the features and safety standards that are required for modern day racing, you know, he actually does a really good job. And the Fuji circuit, it still has its original flow. It carries very well. You know, big long, almost a mile long straight into not a heavy braking zone, but certainly one of the slower corners on the track. All the new hairpins through the middle there, and of course that one right at the back as well. You know, it's a really well-rounded racetrack. You need to set up a low downforce car for the straight, but you need to have that mechanical grip through the corners as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I've done a race around here. You'll like this league, Brendo. Supercars NZ. They do a GT class racing, and yeah, they came here one week, and it was actually incredible. I drove the AMG, the big Merc, and it was incredible. It was very flowing, but you had to know your stuff to drive this track. You can't just go out there and go, oh, I've got this. No, you need to have your braking on point. You need to know where the car's sitting when you go over the crests, and you know, stuff like that is massive around here. And
yeah, well, speaking of the Merc, we've got Ty Delaney coming down the home straight now with the onboard in the big Merc, coming out of Panasonic, that last corner, trying to carry as much speed as possible down into turn 1.
60 Ks, hard on the brakes, nice and hard there, down to second gear.
And I think the other little fun thing I quite enjoy about this track too, and I know a lot of it comes from translations, is just some of the corner names as well. So obviously coming up here into turn 3, this is Coca-Cola Bend. Then you come into 100R, or the big long right-hander, down into the very appropriately named hairpin, up into 300R, and that last corner Panasonic. So some pretty untraditional corner names, and then of course the Japanese like to name their corners after the radiuses, as we see in Suzuka and here as well.
Yeah, definitely. And you talk about Suzuka there too. It's very similar to Suzuka. Very, very similar. Just with the big sweepers. I think the Japanese absolutely love it, and to be frank, I love it too. It shows the most skill out of a driver is to know where to place your car and really know how to drive it. But coming across the crest here now, I mean, you can't even see much over the crest when you're sitting nice and low in your bucket seat. Can't see much. Now come back over this other crest. And we run a bit wider, but that's okay. We're still on a decent lap here from Ty Delaney. No green sectors.
Yeah, and I mean, Panasonic, that last corner there, probably one of the most important on the track, because if you get that wrong and you scrub your speed coming through turn 16, you've got a mile worth of straight, and it does punish you if you're not capitalising on that top speed you mentioned there. Approaching 280k as we come into the braking zone. If you're 15-20k short of that, you're definitely going to lose a lot of time to the guys coming up behind you. Yeah,
definitely. On board now with I think this is Proctor. Yes, we're on board with Proctor here, Adam Proctor in the SLM car. Big Beamer. I'm noticing breaking the 140 barrier. So all the pro drivers are coming out now. So this is Adam Proctor, and he'll be the last Pro-Am. Oh no, there's a couple AMs still driving around.
Yeah, so
huge
couple of AMs, I think, finishing their laps. There's still 50 seconds left in the AM's allowed time. I'm pretty sure they're allowed to start a lap, providing it's before that 15-minute mark. In the rules there. So there is this little 60-second transition period where there are going to be a few more cars on track. It seems most of the AM drivers have made their way into the pit lane. I think Thomas, the only one to stay out, who is yet to... Oh no, he's set a 141, so he's down the order a little bit. Cullen Hodgkinson comes into the pit lane as well.
Yep. There's a no social hate. Mercedes, big orange car there. Good looking livery. So Adam Simpson, the big purple Beamer. Big vacuum cleaner, I've recently nicknamed it. Just big turbo. The big Hoover, as Toddy says in the background, I can hear him. Oh! Gavin! Gavin Simpson just absolutely... Oh, don't get back on the road! Back it up! Yeah, nice. Oh, that was awesome. Big curbs on exit. We forgot to mention that, Brendo. Huge curb exit. The curb on the exit is just absolutely brutal.
Yeah, that's one of those new safety features.
You have a broken neck when you go over that stuff. So
yeah, definitely.
Harry Dodd's on board now. He just sitting behind Adam Simpson, so he's the second car in line, so he'll get a nice little tow on Adam here. Dodds did a really good drive the other day. He got a P3 at Phillip Island. What a great drive from Dodds. He massive confidence boost. He's an absolute awesome driver. Knows what he's doing. But sometimes he just gets in that like groove. Dodds does. He just if he wins that week, he'll win again. And yeah, it's awesome to see Dodds really improving. Bruce Tanak on a really good purple sector, I can see. So he'll be on a very good lap. On board now with a turbo mags car. I think I got that right.
Mag and turbo, other way around.
Mag and turbo. Yeah, I was close. Sorry, Bruce, if you're rewatching this, mate. Yeah, he's been doing really well. I think he's just been an absolute standout driver. The only round he didn't do well was probably, I think it was Spa with the fuel strategy. That was the only really hiccup Bruce has had. But besides that, he's absolutely doing amazing. So he's on a really good lap here. So he should come across the line. Oh, almost clipping the outside there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's unusual for Bruce to be driving the car in a straight line. Of course, in real life, part of the D1 NZ Drift Series, has a Sylvia there, and carries that Mag and Turbo sponsorship again. Oh, S13, sorry. S13 Sylvia carries the Mag and Turbo livery in that series as well. So yeah, pretty well-rounded driver. Of course, you see a lot of talented Kiwi drivers.
Here we go.
Be able to transfer. Oh, Bruce!
Talking to it.
Come on! Here I was talking up the Kiwis, and he goes and bins it.
He's in the bin. Now back on time.
I'll just stop. That's it. I'm done for the night, guys. I'll see you later.
But talking up, you guys talk up the Kiwis and they're in the bin. So back on board with one of the fishies. I think Adam Simpson's an Aussie. Let's go on to an Aussie. Where's an Aussie we can find?
Yeah,
Dodds is an Aussie.
One of them.
Yeah, Dodds is an Aussie. On board with Dodds. So
yeah, Dodds was doing pretty well in practice. I jumped in, before qualifying, obviously, and he was sitting up in the top sort of 3 or 4. So he's found his way back up there again. What are we sitting at there? Kyle Ridley with a 38.5. So I think we're a couple of tenths faster in practice. Yeah. Daniel Byrne has a couple of purple sectors there coming down the back. We jump on to his car now as he comes up around Panasonic and down the long back straight. He will find himself, when he gets to the timing line eventually, very long straight. Time out, Paulie.
I feel like that sometimes.
We wait for him to...
awesome time.
Yeah, a couple of purple sectors. Doesn't manage to get up. He's up to 7th, 39.19, sorry.
Hey,
as Blake Delaney jumps up with a 38.6, that's good enough for second.
Yeah, I was just about to say, he's, ladies and gentlemen, he's actually not an AM driver, he's a pro driver. So, our apologies for... Oh, Gavin off the road. So he's 8th in the pros right now. But, being the AM, so that's a plus, that's a bonus, isn't it? So, Ty Delaney leads the AMs right now, so he'll start P1 on the row there, and on board now with Daniel again. So Ty Delaney overall sitting 9th in the championship as well, so that's overall. Yeah, so 9th overall in qualifying, my apologies, overall, so he's doing really well. Who else can we go on? Let's go to Kyle Ridley. Is he going in the pit lane?
Yeah,
he's going in the pit lane.
Yeah, had a good start in the lap.
So Dodds is on track. We should probably jump over to him, but yeah, there's a Dyke on screen now. Back to Bruce Tanik, green sectors.
Yeah. Looks like he's going to keep it on the track this time, hopefully. All green sectors. Yeah, no, definitely push
Oh.
it. Oh, come on, Bruce! Bruce,
mate.
mate!
It's just not your night, is it, Brendo?
Let's just not show Bruce for a while until he gets a good lap in, eh?
Here's two Aussies, or three Aussies. Kyle Ridley on P1, then Blake Delaney, and then Ray Oliver. Not bad for three Aussies, is it?
Yeah, no, Ray's been a bit quiet so far thus far in the practice session. We haven't really seen too much of him. One of the more consistent drivers in the SRW league across multiple cars and series, and always puts on a pretty good show there in the fishy BMW. Yeah, no, that's all right. At least he didn't crash. He can go into the pit lane. I'd feel bad if it crashed.
Yeah, Ray Oliver just coming out of pits, and Ray Oliver, he had a mega drive on Wednesday night. He was at Winton in the SR8s for the SRW Radicals. It's a bit of a tongue twister, that one, but yeah, he did really well. He beat Michael at Winton, and yeah, it was really good. So Thursday night it was. So yeah, it was a great night for Ray Oliver. I think he thoroughly enjoyed it. Came into the booth and he was shocked that he actually won. So that's always, he was like, oh, I won, and he was like, I wasn't expecting that tonight. So yeah, he's in a bit of a rhythm now. And last week the Juice cars weren't doing, they were doing decent. They got decent points last week, but I don't think they were feeling as confident as they are tonight. First and third. So yeah,
definitely Jamie Dyke there, currently all green thus far through the track. We're right on board there with Harry Dodds coming through the hairpin. So Jamie Dyke completes his lap. He will improve his time, but not his position. Stays 9th on the grid overall. Blake Delaney got a couple of purples as he's coming up to the final section now as well. He's currently sitting in 2nd, so he's looking to get the jump on Kyle Ridley.
Yeah, he's on the back straight now, about to come across the finishing line. I think I've messed up the timing. Yes, I have. So he's going to come up.
No, we're getting up there. It's a long back straight, man.
It's almost like 2K. There it is. About a 10th quicker. Oh. Yeah.
So there's currently 5 thousandths of a second between first and second. So 138.52 for Kyle Ridley, 138.57 for Blake Delaney with that last lap there. And most importantly, Bruce Tannock has completed a lap, 139.05. No, take him off the screen. We don't want to curse it.
Actually, I just oh no, Blake Delaney going around. I was about to talk up Blake Delaney. I said, how cool would it be if Blake Delaney was P1 in Pro and Ty was P1 in Am? I just thought of that.
Yeah, it'd definitely be something for the father-son combination there. Jamie Dyke in the green again. As he comes up to the final third of the track. Ray Oliver in the green, but a little bit further up the road though, through Sector 1. Kyle Ridley takes purple in Sector 1 on his lap as well.
So he's been the lap.
Who's that? Ray or Kyle? Kyle, yeah. So Kyle pulls over. Ray Oliver goes orange through 2. It was looking like just looking like there for a moment we were going to see some movers and shakers on the table, but
Michael Whiting on track now. He's just came out now, so he's going to try and put a lap time down. Lachlan Capel, did see him come out very late into the stint of qualifying, so wonder what he can do. He's always our top guy. Ray Oliver, he's in P2 now, so he's clipped. Oh my, you got to have a look at these times, Brendo. So Kyle Ridley, 138.52. Ray Oliver, 138.54. And Blake Delaney, 138.57. How crazy is that? Absolutely nut.
Absolutely incredible. The gap between these guys is just nothing right now. And yeah, you mentioned Lachlan Capel come out on track. I mean, he's sort of had a bit of a trend at the moment of late to not qualify. So with what 3 minutes left in the session, be very interesting to see if he actually sets a lap or if he's going to pull into the pits at the end there. And yeah, we see him there pulling into the pits. So just getting a bit of a feeler at the end of the session. It's a very interesting tactic for Lachlan. He seems to like the challenger starting at the back. He seems to capitalise on, I want to say, other people's misfortune, but you know, he takes his moments and gets those moves done. We've seen that he's stupid fast, and no doubt we're going to see him come through the field yet again this week.
Yeah, it's quite funny interviewing Lachlan though. He's very calm and doesn't say much.
Very humble.
Yeah, he's doesn't say much. Kind of just does his thing, then buggers off basically.
Yeah, and, I'd be happy if I started at the front and won a race, let alone to do it from the back. So certainly shows his class week in, week out, does Lachlan, and those fishy boys up the top, and you know, you got Harry there sitting down in 5th now as well. You know, they're going to be doing the best they can to sort of keep him, you know, in the rear view mirror. Michael Whiting and Gavin Simpson both have green sectors through 2. Michael Whiting crosses the line there, no improvement on his time, nor does Gavin Simpson. So they stay where they are. We have just 40 seconds left in the session, so those 2 fishy boys will get another go around. It looks like everybody is on track at the moment.
Bruce Tannick's got some green sectors, so he might be on a banger of a lap too. Michael Whiting, I think he just cut the track.
Yeah, it looked like an off track there.
Bruce Tannick coming across the line, your favourite.
Yeah,
4th.
Does improve, moves up into 4th.
Nice.
Pretty good starting position for him there. Moves into the 38.
Blake Delaney, have a look at that. Green, purple. What kind of lap time can he pull out? Can it be
orange is the last?
Oh, has he done it?
No, he's got an orange in the last sector there, so he finds himself still in 3rd. That is the checkered flag. So a few guys still to go. Gavin Simpson in the greens after 2 sectors. Currently sitting down there, and what's going on in the pit lane? Bit of burnouts, tyre spinning going off in the pit lane there. Anyway, back on track. Gavin Simpson has 2 green sectors, still looking green through the micro splits. He's currently sitting in 12th, looking to improve on that starting position. Of course, a couple of the AM drivers currently out qualifying him.
Yeah, there's a lot of AM drivers that are doing really well. Andrew Lydon doing really well, and then obviously Ty Delaney doing really well as well. He's P10, so yeah, they're doing very well. Daniel comes across the line. Where's he sitting?
Yeah, so Daniel's still sitting in 10th. Gavin does improve his time. He moves to 9th on the grid, which is the second to last. Oh, sorry. Yeah, second to last of the pros. And Jamie Dyke takes a big jump up from 8th to 5th with his final lap. Just got Daniel there coming across with his final time. He will move to 7th.
Done really well there, hasn't he? Great lap there. Absolute, what a lap. So he's done well, but Kyle Ridley, hey? P1. How good's that? He's, yeah, like I said, last week he was a bit, you know, not all the way up there, but this week he's absolutely killed it. So there's your, all your guys that have qualified. So top 3, I'll call them out for your grid. So we'll call out top 10.
Just waiting for the drivers to come off the track, and then we can load the grid up. So they should be right to go now. Any second. No, sorry, there's still 2 seconds left to qualifying. Should be right now.
And there we
Yep,
go.
there we go.
So Kyle Ridley, P1 for Juiced Sim Racing. So the two Juice cars are actually P1 and P2. Kyle Ridley, P1 in the car number 9. P2, Ray Oliver in the 23. Blake Delaney, Fishy car. Bruce Tenning, Mag and Turbo. Jamie Dyken, Fishy. Adam Simpson in Fishy 2. Daniel Byrne in P7. Michael Whiting in P8. Harry Dodds in P9. Gavin in P10, so Dodds a bit further back, but I'm sure he can make up a few positions. Gavin in P10. Ty Delaney, our first AM driver. P1 is P11. Andrew Lydon, P2 and AM. So we'll just scroll down a bit. There we go. Matthew Gerard, he's done really well. P3, Andrew Loretti. In P4, P5, Andrew Proctor. Nathan Gardner. P6, P6. And Peter Pavlik, P7. I don't know about the grey cars. Yeah, Peter Pavlik, then Thomas in P8. So Nathan Allen, P9. Chad. What? There's some names, but P8. Brendan. Callum Hodgson.
Definitely. And
P9,
I think you're Braden O'Loughlin, Greg Johnson. I think your ones to watch though are those that didn't qualify. So you've got Sebastian Flock, Lachlan Capel, Daniel Yeaman, and Tom Wilkinson. They are starting from the rear of the grid. Those are going to be the guys to watch. We've got Adam Hughes, Stephen McCartan, and Greg Barber all up in race control tonight. I think Hughesy might be in the safety car. We'll have to wait and see.
It's interesting to see Hughesy not racing. He's normally up the front. But,
well, I mean, after Tyson been to the safety car last week, they probably subbed out the driver. So Hughesy there probably subbed in to see if he can do a better job at keeping the safety car safe. Lachlan Capel, driver removed from the server. That was a bit of an interesting
hang on.
pop-up there. We'll have to have a chat to our race control there and see what happened there.
That's very interesting.
Shadow realmed him.
Yeah, too fast. That's hang on, race control. Oh, so we just heard over the race control. He actually got kicked from the server because he was doing burnouts in the pit lane.
Oh,
I
did see that. Yeah, I did see it on the other screen. Yeah. So unfortunate circumstances there for probably one of the quicker guys in the race session. That's for sure.
So here we go.
Sebastian Fock, Daniel Yeaman, and Tom Wilkinson also off track as well. So not quite sure what goes there.
So here we go. The lights are almost about to go green. Juice cars, 1, 2, Delaney, Bruce Tannick, P4, Jamie Dykes right there, and they're off. The two cars are off. They've got a bit of a gap there. Ray Oliver's been gapped a little bit. Blake Delaney's right there though. There's all the cars. What a great sound coming across the line. Does Dodds make a move in the background? No, Delaney's up the inside. That's a big opening. Can he get it? Yes, Delaney's up to P2 now. Dodds in the background trying to make up positions. He knows he's a bit further down than last week. Does Bruce try and get around Ray Oliver now? Oh, bit of contact in back, I heard.
Yeah,
Bruce Tannick on the outside.
Oh, sorry, pretty reserved start there, I think, from most of the guys, not wanting to go too hard into turn one. Of course, we are racing for 90 minutes here and charging into turn one with cold tyres. Drivers giving themselves a little bit of space. They were 3 wide at times, but they did filter out into a bit of a single file line. As we see Bruce Tannick trying to make a move around the outside there at the top of your screen. Harry Dodds there in the background sticks his nose up to the inside, thinks better of it, the fishy car behind. A little bit congested there coming into the hairpin. Dodds up the inside again. No. Flips to the outside now, trying to make a move on the kitten car there of Daniel Byrne is Harry Dodds, certainly showing his nose every which way, as that looks like Gavin Simpson making a move up on is it Ty Delaney there in the background in the fishy car?
Yeah, so Ty Delaney, and I think that's Michael Whiting on the inside. Yes, it is. So Harry Dodd's on board now, the performance sim racing car. So I think that's a kit car in front. I don't know who that is. I think that's
it's Daniel Byrne in front. Yeah,
Daniel
so
Byrne. Yeah. So now it's a massive train down here. You do not want to get out of slipstream. You just want to stay in the slip the whole time. Do not get out of it. One of the cars in the background trying to go too wide up to the first corner, hard on the brakes.
Yeah, that's
nice
Delaney there trying to put a move on Gavin Simpson. He's up the inside through turn 1. Gavin Simpson runs it a little bit wide. I'm not quite sure if there was definitely not contact. Ty gave Gavin plenty of room, just ran a little bit wide all by himself. So it's good to see one of our top AM drivers competing up there with the tail end of the pro field.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Ty just backed out of it a little bit. Just, oh, Blake Delaney's around. He did this at Winton. Oh, no. Look at all the spots he's dropping. You could see, I think that was Sebastian Flock that went by him. Oh, no. Huge loss from Delaney. And we'll get on the DSL Warning Services replay here. First replay of the night. Sorry, Delaney. We had to do it to you. So what happened here? So I think he's went wide. I reckon he's used not enough. He didn't have enough grip around here. So he's...
Yeah, it's a bit of a quick transfer of the weight there. You're coming out of that right-left complex. So it looks like he's just transferred the weight of the car a little bit too quickly. Coming through 100R. And a little bit of a shallow attack line, lit up the rear wheels, and he's found himself around. He's back in 23rd now, down 23 positions. There's some fireworks outside, just scare the living daylights out of me.
At that time of night, mate, Jesus.
It's 10 o'clock at night here.
Typical Kiwi. He's doing fireworks at 10 o'clock at night. That's normal.
Oh, it was 3 o'clock. It was 3 o'clock in the morning the other week. Oh, it's just insane.
Kyle Ridley on screen, Ray Oliver. Oh, you got to feel for Blake Delaney though. Bruce Tannick picking up the scraps though and doing well, picking up the position. And Dyke in P5 now. Just he's that kind of guy in the GTs, you know. He just sits there patiently, just lets everyone do their things, and he just comes out of nowhere, just bang, right there to pick up the pieces of people's mistakes and does well.
Yeah, you're definitely quite right. Very quick driver, very consistent as well. Runs a smooth line. Bit of action going on in the AM class right now as well. Proctor, Loretti, Yeeman trying to come through as well. So some of those top guys there, they were going 4 wide into the hairpin there. So plenty of action in the AM class as well. Of course, you've got Yeeman and who's your other one? Flock, making their way up through the AM class right now.
Yeah, Daniel Hume did a really good battle with Adam Hughes the other week at Spa. That was an awesome battle. So he's actually in the Beamer. So huge train down the back, but yeah, Daniel did very well in P2 at Spa. Oh, look at the train up the front. There's Bruce Tannick getting attacked from Adam Simpson from behind. Don't know what's happened there, but they were too wide down to the first corner. 2 fishies right behind him. You'd think there's too many piranhas at this point, wouldn't you? But yeah, just coming around the back now, past Coca-Cola, on board with Adam Simpson here. But Ty Delaney just dropping back a little bit too, down to P5 now in the AM split. So maybe being a bit too caution, maybe, you know, being a bit safe about it. But yeah, dropping a few spots there, all good. He'll probably make them back up. But Andrew Lydon on screen now, AM driver, leader. Andrew Lydon now leader right now. Coming up to the back of the track now. Look at that shot, what a great shot of that Kitten's car. He's got a bit of a gap there. There's a good 2-3 seconds in that. So he'd be enjoying that lead. What a great lead he's got there. About 3 seconds, 3.5. Really good lead there. Coming up to the back section now and on the straight now. Drive at 8:08.
Yeah, definitely Andrew Lydon there making a bit of a gap to the cars behind. Plenty of action back through there, of course. Yeaman and Flock making the passes through the Amfield. Adam Simpson and Jamie Dyke, Daniel Byrne there, right up on the back there as we see the onboard there with Yeaman. Got a car right up the back of him that looks like Flock. So they'll be working together, of course, trying to get their way through the field.
Yeah, it seems like they just do this every week at this point, but Daniel Hume did very well, and so has Sebastian Flock. Flock we've had a few chats to and said hi. Now they're chasing down Harry Dodds, P8, and Dodds is having an off track, so I wonder if we can get a DSL Lighting Services replay. Yes, we have. So on board now. So at that point, he looks like he's in P7. So I wonder what happened there? I think a bit of hardware issues there. Just
definitely a bit of an unexplained moment there, and
maybe getting a bottle of water.
Too much. Yeah, it hasn't cost him too much in the grand scheme of things. Great battle going on for third right now too. Bruce Tannock, Adam Simpson, and Jamie Dyke. So, yeah, Bruce there got those two fishy boys hunting him down. Daniel Burns had a bit of a moment as well, it seems. We'll see if we can pull up a replay for that one. There we are, DSL Lighting Services replay.
Oh,
and,
no.
Just go back a little bit further. He's found himself around.
That's
the curb a little bit there. Yeah, that weight transition.
Yep.
Oh no, he's hit the yellow
curbs.
Yellow curbs, yeah.
Yeah, huge curbs there. Oh, and sunsettled the car. Look at that. So it looks like the Porsches have just been a bit iffy, maybe.
Which is unusual because generally speaking, the Porsches tend to have the most mechanical grip over all the GT3 cars. So very interesting to see just the track elevation here and the way the camber of the corner goes. Was there a bit of contact there? Bruce Tannock, perhaps a little bit of contact there. Same corner as well. Gets the rear end stepping out. So we go back to the DSL Lighting Services replay. We're on board with Bruce Tannock here.
I wonder what happened here because it
you
looks
see
like that.
Michael Whiting in the rear view. Yeah, Michael Whiting.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
There's Dyke.
No, he's come in too hot. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's ended up playing luck. That's just had a bad luck. Sorry, he's just lost the back end. So Matthew Gerard getting on the radio as well. So I wonder what's happened. Maybe something's happened in the background.
I think he was yielding to the pro drivers coming through. So he's just been passed by Dodds and Flock, and Yeaman as well. So I think he was just letting them through on one side or the other. Just caught the back of that chatter there in our ears. So it seems Gerard there yielding to the pro class. I think he's currently sitting second. Yeah, second in the AM class there. Andrew Lydon, pretty far up, currently in 8th position, being chased down by Flock, Dodds, Yeaman and Gerard. Great spot for Dodds to find himself in, really, if he can stick with Flock and Yeaman moving through the field.
Yeah, it was quite a good little move there with Adam. I want to kind of go back to Adam Simpson for a second and Bruce Tannock kind of analyse and break it down a little bit. But it looked like he just the back end just went around just because of that weight transfer. Again.
Yeah, well, we've just seen it again. Nathan Gardner on the second screen there, bit of contact there on that same corner. So the cars just seem to be really unsettled coming down at downhill braking zone into the hairpin. The rear end seems to be getting lost, and yeah, just causing the drivers a little bit of struggle there. Nathan Garden didn't lose out too much. The position was redressed, of course. Had Delaney make the contact behind him. Peter Pavlovich, we just hear in the background, has had a bit of an incident, so we'll see if we can pull that one up. DSL Welding Services replay, we were right on board, and again, it's coming up to that same corner on the track, so bit of RC chatter going on in the background as well, so potentially a safety car coming here, guys. Yeah, it's that same corner. They seem to, I don't know, they're turning in a bit early, unsettling the car. I'm not really quite sure.
Yeah, I think it's just, I think with the Merc, I mean, we're looking at the Merc, you know, I think it's been twice now, and almost 3 times, sorry.
Two Mercs and a Porsche.
Yeah, and I think it's just that.
Oh,
that
big moment for Simpson.
Where's Simpson?
I'm not sure, but he's just lost a heap of positions.
Oh no. What's happened? So another replay.
This is coming out of Coca-Cola. No, it's not. Yeah, Coca-Cola corner.
Oh,
just sends it way too hot. Manages to keep it out of the fence.
Oh, what a great save!
Very well saved, but probably lost a good 5 or 6 in the process.
That was very scary having a look at that. So Sebastian Flock and Daniel Newman up 14 spots now. So we've passed Harry Dodds now.
Yeah,
so,
made their way into the top 10 now, running 9th and 10th respectively.
Yeah, they're doing really well. I wonder if Dodds got a bit of hardware issues, because it seems like he's a bit off pace compared to qualifying and practice. So I wonder if there's something going on.
Yeah, you sort of think something perhaps not quite right there for Dodds. He does seem to be a little bit off the pace for sure. Eamon and Flock now chasing down Andrew Lydon, of course, amateur driver, currently running up in 8th position, doing very well in and amongst the pro drivers around him. So a bit of a train at the moment going on down the front stretch. Where are we? Bruce Tannock catching up again to Michael Whiting after that little incident we saw a few laps ago. Gavin Simpson, Adam Simpson, and Andrew Lydon, in fact, all in that train leading up into the 4th position spot. Jamie Dyke, we talk about him being a quiet achiever. He slipped his way up into 3rd place now, chasing down the Juice Boys.
Yeah, I mean, we keep talking about it over and over, but I mean, Doc's just a clean esports driver now. I mean, David Coleman always comes in here on a Sunday night and goes, oh, he's just an esports driver, blah, 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 normal esports drivers, you know? And I was like, yeah, well, that's what they are. They're consistent, they're clean, they're quick. But let's change it up. Let's go down to the M class, shall we? See what's happening down there.
Yeah, good battle between Blake Delaney and Matthew Gerard right now. Obviously, Blake, pro driver. And now I've just lost my place on the timing screen. Yeah, Matthew Gerard, Braden O'Loughlin right on the back of him. So a couple of AM drivers really sticking it to those pros who find themselves a little bit further down in the field. And obviously a good confidence boost for those AM drivers to be competitive against the drivers who are considered as pros.
Yeah, definitely Matthew Gerard in P2 right now. Then Andrew, I think Loretti. Loretti's, I think he's actually in front of Matthew Gerard, so I think they've swapped positions. So Loretti's in P2, sorry.
Yeah, on the overall timing screen, Loretti's showing us running in 13th, and Gerard currently showing us running in 16th. So, interestingly, there on the AM splits, oh no, that's been updated now. Yeah, so Daniel Byrne in 2nd there, of course, was a pro driver. So,
yeah,
looks like Andrew Proctor's got through Gerard as well in the last few exchanges. So perhaps.
Even Proctor's
yeah, so I think something's happened there for Gerard. He's got in a couple of positions. Is there anything on there?
He's slowing down.
Toddy, he seems to be slowing down.
So, replay here. Let's have a look. So, this is Adrian Loretti. And,
yes, yeah. There we go. Huge. Oh, did he hit the wall there?
I think he's hit it. Yeah.
Looks like he has hit the wall, so yeah, car definitely not 100% there after that one, the 169 Kiwi car. So Bruce Tannock had another off track as well. Big moment, and Dodds has had an off track as well, reacting to it.
Oh no! Oh, look at that car! It's all banged up.
So Dodds there probably had a little bit more space than he thought. He's reacted to Bruce Tannock rejoining. He did so very safely, I might add. And Dodds has now found himself a long way down.
Oh, look at that.
Waiting for a safe rejoin. So we'll pull up the DSL Welding Services replay for Bruce Tannock, I believe. Yeah, jumps up on the curb a little bit again. Just very unsettled. Lost the rear end in the Mercs, so I wonder if they're running a little bit less downforce. We see Dodds there coming around, and Bruce Tannock there well off the track.
Oh, bang!
No, I think Dodds has run a little bit wider there, I think, just out of as a precaution, and yeah, he's found himself probably a little bit worse for wear. So a couple of our top drivers there just getting caught out. I think lower downforce in the Mercedes, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of them think, well, we need no downforce for the straight, but to be honest, you don't. You actually want more downforce because you got so many risers around here. You actually want more downforce because you've got so many long sweepers like this one here. You want that extra bit of downforce because obviously we've seen Bruce Tannock and Harry Dodds going around just because of that no rear wing, basically.
Yeah, and I mean, you touched on the long sweepers, you touched on the elevation change. The elevation change, I think, is what's really key because they're braking downhill. So the weight loading of the suspension on the car is just lifting the rear end, and as a result, they're just looping. You know, nothing too serious so far, just minor little step outs from the rear end. But I think it's just a matter of time before, you know, we see someone get really caught up in that kind of mistake. And it's an unforced error, obviously, by both drivers. By all drivers involved, but yeah, unfortunate to have your race fall apart in that kind of manner.
Yeah, definitely. It's never a good feeling. So here's a bit of a big battle. So we got Gavin, Adam Simpson, and Daniel on the back here. So follow on board with these. So go up to Gavin. There's actually look at that battle there. Really good battle here. So you can see that rear mirror. And there he is, Adam Simpson. But I reckon Sebastian Flott would be very happy if he can get around these guys and really just chase down the big field now. But
yeah, well, I mean, Adam and Gavin are the kind of drivers too that can really capitalise on kind of being a little bit defensive. You know, they'll do quite well out of having those quick two guys behind them. That'll push them forward a little bit. And at the moment, it seems as though Adam and Gavin kind of working together a little bit, moving up through the field. They've certainly found a little bit of pace over the last couple of laps. They've improved sort of half a second or so, it seems, on the timing screen. But yeah, definitely a lot of pressure there coming on from behind the two quick guys in Yeaman and Flock, sort of not overly looking for moves, but certainly biting for their opportunity.
Yeah, I think they're just waiting there, and yeah, I mean, you can even see on the straight, Flock's actually not gaining, so I reckon those guys have a bit more downforce than what, you know, the rest of the guys think, because you can see Adam Simpson just like slowly just Daniel trying to go up the inside. No, he's had a look.
Yeah, big dive there from Adam Simpson, gets the pass done. Although Gavin Simpson holding on around the outside, takes the inside line into Coca-Cola and leading up to 100R, and it seems as though
Porsche's around. Oh,
the Porsche's around.
I think the back end went around on him. He's pushed it too much. There's a breaking point in these cars. And
definitely a little bit of contact too, I think, though, and it's put him up onto the curb, and having to brake on the curb has really unsettled that Porsche, and Gavin Simpson now finds himself a good few positions down. We'll load up the DSL Welding Services replay. This is Adam Simpson's brilliant move into one. A lot of room given there by Gavin. Adam holds his line pretty tidy, really. Then the run down to Coca-Cola. Again, a lot of space given. Adam just pushes it. No, there's no contact at all.
No
He's just done it all
contact at all.
himself.
Yep. Yeah, I thought at first I thought there was contact, but I was like seeing that car. I think it's just went around. So but yeah, no contact at all. But poor Adam, he's been in a few incidents and he hasn't touched the other car. So well done, Adam. But
yeah, Adrian. Ooh. Yeah, so Andrew Lydon there has kind of hooked on the back of that little battle pack we just featured. Currently running 8th position overall, leading the AM class. Obviously, Daniel Byrne there on the AM screen, a pro driver, of course. Adrian Loretti in the other kitten car, currently 2nd in AM. So great drive from the kitten team. Sort of dominating the AMs at the moment with Proctor and Gerard, of course, all finding themselves in little bits of mishap. Nothing too serious, of course, but certainly moving back through the field. Harry Dodds there finds himself in 21st, so a bit of a recovery drive from him. He's chasing down Peter Pavlik. He's quite a fair bit behind. We see Proctor on screen there, found himself with a bit of clean track at the moment.
first pitter, Harry Dodds in the pits, so trying to get the car fixed and a bit of fuel. So we're about 100. We're about 20 minutes in from our hour and 30-minute race. So yeah, crash.
So it seems he may have had another little incident here. Yeah. Oh yeah.
No.
Same corner again too.
Yeah. Same position too.
Yeah, in the exact same part of the car. So I definitely think that's rear downforce to me. The back end of the car just not holding on through that cambered corner, which, you know, being a cambered corner, quite unusual too. So Dodds will be taking some repairs.
Tires.
Yeah, he's taking tyres as well. You know, at that point, you know, you might as well just give yourself a relatively fresh start.
Yeah, well, the issue is apparently Dodds was supposed to win Porsche Cups, but the reason he didn't win was because he took tyres. And I was like, oh no. So Dodds really liked taking tyres.
It's not a bad option from Dodds, right? Because currently as it sits, if he does go a lap down, I'm just trying to see who he's coming out around. Should there be a Nathan Gardner? So he's not really hurt him. Yeah, he will just go one lap down now. But he hasn't really hurt himself too badly. If we do get a safety car in the next hour, obviously he'll get the lucky dog, and he'll put himself on the back of the field with better tyres and you know, perhaps a bit more fuel as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's an interesting one. Adam Hughes on the screen. So
yeah.
So on board with him now, and in the
I didn't even realise he was on the timing screen. I thought he was in race control.
So he's actually 13 laps down. So he actually came out for a bit of a drive. So he had a bit of a moment here. So we'll have a quick look here. So see what he's done. So I think he might have taken a bit too much curb. Yep, there it is. So I went around in the Smoke Studios livery. Really nice. I've been calling it the Belgium livery just for the colours, but yeah, it's an awesome looking livery. Debuted at Spa. But yeah, I'm surprised he's not driving. Definitely being in the championship. Definitely not driving. That's
yeah, maybe he's just decided. Yeah, maybe deciding just to you know, classify himself for whatever points he can get. Bit of a last-minute decision to race. I know the Chris Cross boys have been right into their Modern Warfare of the last week. Our group chats have just been exploding with Modern Warfare memes and gifs and you know, the kind of banter that you get with that sort of thing. And I'm sure a lot of other guys have been right into that over the last couple of weeks as well.
I can imagine the Fishy boys have been into it as well. But yeah, I haven't actually played it yet, so I might have to sit down and have a go on the old PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of looked at it today, and then I ended up buying a few tracks on iRacing, and suddenly found I was a bit broke to buy it. So that plan quickly went out the window. So next paycheck for me, I think.
Yeah, definitely. On board with these guys. How good are these guys doing? Oh, how good are these guys doing? Kyle Ridley and Ray Oliver. They've absolutely just gapped the field. 10 seconds from Ray Oliver and Mike Whiting.
Yeah, the two Juice boys having a phenomenal job at the moment. Adam Simpson right now got his hands full with Yeeman and Flock. Been having a great battle through the field. It looks as though Yeeman does have the edge. Adam Simpson just out dragging him a little bit down the straight. We talk about that more downforce we think these guys are running. This is great. 3 wide coming into turn 1. Let's see what unfolds here. It looks like Flock with the inside line. He's definitely got the dive. Adam Simpson, the 222 car, holding on around the outside. He's going to have to concede though. No, he's not. Look at that. He's got Yeeman on the inside coming into Coca-Cola.
Boy, he's done really well there.
Lets him through, I think, in the end there.
Yeah.
Not wanting to cause the collision. So Flock and Yeeman move up into 5th and 6th. Great bit of driving there from all 3 of them, going 3 wide into 1. Flock there, the big benefactor, taking the inside line and holding on to it.
Yeah, definitely the guy that just went through, and that was it. He did really well there. Just came out on the good side. So going to the back of the track now. Adam Simpson trying to make a move on Daniel there, just really putting the pressure there. But Daniel just pulling away a little bit. He had a bit of a slide on exit there.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, we've talked a couple of times about Andrew Linden, who's sort of just hung on the back of that group. He's fallen away a little bit, but, you know, still a phenomenal drive from him. Currently sitting up in 8th position, leading the AM class right now by quite a bit, it seems. The next car is Adrian Loretti back in 11th, who's a good 4 seconds up the track. I was just trying to do quick math in my head on the big screen, big timing screen.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, now we're on Adrian Loretti. My apologies. He's been doing a lot of F3 and he's been doing really well in it. So in the Porsche. But yeah, he's been doing really well, and he's sitting in P3, so he's doing really well. No, P2, sorry. 2 kitten cars in the podium, so that's never bad at all. O'Neill in P3. So another juice car on the podium. So 30 minutes in almost, so another hour to go. So on the little straight here after Coca-Cola. Now Andrew Proctor. Just coming around the back of the track now.
Sorry, I was just checking something. It's just my computer having a moment.
Yeah. Feels like that sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, so Jamie Dyke now all over the back of team boss Michael Whiting. Slipped back, obviously. Michael Whiting got past him a couple of laps ago. Jamie just hanging on, not content for 4th place, wants to get up there. Those boys would be wise to work together. They've got a 10-second deficit to catch up to the Juiced boys, Kyle Ridley and Ray Oliver, who have really pulled away up the field. And Sebastian and Daniel Yeeman closing that gap in on Jamie Dyke very quickly as well. What have we got further back? Braden O'Loughlin, Andrew Proctor having a little bit of a battle there for 14th position. Andrew just a little bit too far back to make a dive into 1. Hang on, I just need to refresh this because it's jumping. Right, hopefully that's going to work a bit better. Still doing it. Hang on, I'll be back in a second, guys. Just going to turn off some stuff. My bandwidth is having a moment. Yeah, I'm back. Hopefully that should work now. It's still not. Alright, we're working. Rightio, Daniel Yeaman now chasing with Sebastian Flock. They're really closing in that gap on Jamie Dyke and Michael Whiting. The two fishy cars. We ride on board here with Daniel Yeaman. Nice view of the rear bumper of Flock. Of course, we've seen these two week in, week out, do this kind of start from the back and work their way through. As we approach the half hour, or we've just gone over the half hour mark, sorry, we see Andrew Proctor jump into the pit lane for his first stop, potentially a little bit of damage there. Of course, we saw that incident just a little bit earlier. Not sure, seems as though Connor's disappeared. We will carry on. It's not showing as muted, not quite sure what's going on there. Nathan Allen here on screen now, currently running, where are we? Currently running 6th in the AM class, 16th overall. Finds himself with a bit of clean air at the moment. The AM class kind of spreading out quite a bit, actually. You know, if we look through from Braden O'Loughlin down, Gardner, Nathan Allen, Matthew Gerard, Greg Johnston, they're all kind of sort of 6 or 7 seconds apart. Blake Delaney probably the only one sort of really putting some pressure on the car in front. He's currently battling with Adrian Loretti. Of course, that's a pro driver versus an AM driver. Just trying to get that position back. Adrian Loretti running 2nd place in AM class right now. Those two kitten Porsches really dominating the AM field tonight. Massive gaps back to the rest of the AM field as we see there a bit of a wide run through turn 1. We're coming up into 2. Blake just quite happy to sit in behind Adrian Loretti, running pretty consistent and fast lines, not driving too defensively, keeping good momentum. Certainly making Blake work for the position, that's for sure. A little bit further up the field, Michael Whiting becoming very vulnerable again to Jamie Dyke, just getting the hairpin a little bit wrong on exit. Left himself vulnerable. Dyke stuck his nose up the inside, but yeah, Michael Whiting managed to hold onto the position, but what it has done is really it's cost them pretty much 2.5 seconds really. Sebastian Flock was just over 4 seconds behind, now finds himself just over 2 seconds behind, and that time is just getting shorter and shorter between Flock and Dyke. So once those two get up on the back, it's going to be all go. However, the real story here is the two Juice boys up the front, Kyle Ridley and Ray Oliver. We haven't given them a whole lot of stream time, to be fair, because they've kind of just driven away with it a little bit. Now up to 13 seconds, give or take. The split between 2nd and 3rd as we see Jamie Dyke get past Michael Whiting. Probably a bit of chat there in comms, in the fishy Discord. Jamie just requesting to have a crack. He's certainly showing a lot more pace than team boss Michael Whiting at this stage, and Jamie might need that defensive driving of Michael Whiting as Flock and Yeaman continue to close that gap. So Andrew Lydon still running in 8th position, really profiting, being in and amongst those pro drivers, holding his own. Bruce Tannock finds his way back up into the top 10 as well. He's currently all over the back of Andrew Lydon. Well, not really all over the back of him, but getting to within that second of Andrew Lydon. Just looking for a little bit more consistency in the second half of this race, I think, is Bruce Tannock. Currently down 5 positions. Of course, the movers and shakers, Flock and Yeeman up 18 now, but that's not really a fair fight. Dodd's currently the Wooden Spoon Award, down 14 with his incident we saw a little bit earlier on. Of course, had to wait for the whole field to come through. Blake Delaney was the other one very early on. Found himself at the back on lap 2 or 3, I think it was. He is now up to 12th. So we see Blake Delaney again on the back of Adrian Loretti. We switch to Harry Dodds now, making a move. It looks, that's not Peter Pavlik. Who's that? That is Thomas. So Harry finds himself in 22nd. Peter Pavlik, the next car he's chasing, you just see on screen there the KFC Mercedes. And these guys, I believe, are all a lap down now. Up to Nathan Gardner, currently running. That can't be right. Nathan Gardner running on the last car, running on the lead lap. Is that right? No, that's not right. Greg Johnston will be the last car on the lead lap, I think. He's a minute 36 behind. Who's that they've just passed? So it's the 380. Andrew, no, they just passed Andrew Proctor. So Greg Johnson, the last car on lead lap currently. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened to Andrew there. He certainly found himself falling down the order a little bit. So we jump on with Andrew Proctor there, just got the leaders in behind him. So hopefully he can sort of stick with them a little bit. Certainly when you're behind has he had a pit stop, has he? Yeah, he's got a pit lane count. So Andrew Proctor has transited the lane, as has Ty Delaney. He pitted lap 7, so that was from the incident. Andrew Proctor has been through the pit lane, which explains why he's a little bit further down than he perhaps should be. Probably only a one-stop race as we see Dodds make the move on Peter Pavlik in the corner that's caused some issues so far in this race as the leaders working their way through lap traffic again, this time going past Greg Johnson. He concedes and lets them through. Jamie Dyke must be getting pretty close to some lap traffic as well, I would think. He's 10 seconds up the road. Yeah, he's got past. Who's that? He's just got past. That's Michael Whiting. So those are all for position still. So they haven't quite got on the back of the lap traffic yet. Which, you know, again, if they fail to get that right, it's going to extend the lead for the two Juice Boys up the front.
What a race, man! Wow, hey, look at this, man. It's getting hunted down now. I think Fish is on the menu tonight for Sebastian Flock and Daniel Yeeman. What do you reckon, Brendo?
Yeah, no, he's definitely chasing them down. It's sort of been a bit of an interesting battle, really. The Fishy Boys have sort of been holding their own. They've sort of had that gap there of a couple of seconds for quite a while. Just in the last lap, it seems as though Flock and Yeeman have pulled that into within a second. So perhaps a bit of misfortune there with the two fishy boys, just yielding a little bit of time to the guys chasing down behind.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. These guys are up 18th and 19th respectively, so been working together, even though they're not teammates, they've been working together quite well to actually cut their way through the pack, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're not teammates, but they're certainly of a similar pace, and it seems they have a pretty good, what's the word I'm looking for, like a agreement between them when it comes to working their way through the field. They seem to, get through the first, an hour 15, I suppose, working together in the last 15 minutes becomes, no holds barred, getting across that finish line in whichever position they can. So, yeah, definitely going to be very interesting to see as this race progresses. We've certainly seen some battles over the last few weeks between these two. Of course, at Winton, Lachlan Capel kind of just ran away with the field. In previous weeks, it has been the both of them competing, side by side throughout, but big ask, I think, for those two Juice boys who are still a good 10 seconds up the road from this battle pack. Bruce Tannock further back down the field, still, I don't want to say stuck behind Andrew Lydon, but certainly struggling to make that pass. Pretty big gap to Adam Simpson ahead, the next pro driver in the field.
And as we know, Andrew Lydon knows how to make this Porsche very, very wide. He's quite good at it. He might be top of our AM class, but he has been very dominant in our AM class throughout the season, and he's been very, very impressive to see. And he's been up there in the top 10 most races as well. He might be top of AM, but he's as you can see, trying to make the thing as wide as he can, even making it hard for Bruce to jump into the pits. So we've got Bruce Tannock into the pits now. That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, probably a bit of a strategy there from Bruce Tannock. Potentially a bit of an undercut, obviously. Sebastian Flock goes in as well. Daniel Yeaman stays out. Adam Simpson in the pit lane as well. So
I reckon that's the first time you haven't cursed Bruce Tannock all night, mate.
Yeah, I think first time I haven't cursed Bruce there. Steven Sinkovich jumping in as well. Nice to have you on with us, mate.
How are you, Steve?
I thought I'd come in and just pump you guys up a bit and get you motivated for the second half hour of the show.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And I just see there in the text chat there, Sebastian Flock, rip 40 seconds stop hold. So obviously he's hit the pit control line just a little bit too hard, and that's going to be a very costly penalty for Flock there, who is running right up in and amongst the top guys. And it's going to be a very long wait as we see some, I don't know if that was contact or just a genuine spin there. Jamie Dyke finds himself around, and Yeaman and Whiting go through Jamie Dyke on the radio calling to race control. Kyle Ridley comes into the pit lane as well. Jamie Dyke's probably just lost a good 5 positions. Has Blake Delaney right behind him now as he slots into 7th. So Ridley, Yeaman, Whiting, good job, dog, all into the pit lane. So the top field now starting to come in. Jamie Dyke staying out, needing to regain a bit of that time, and look at Blake Delaney really riding the back bumper. Talk about a bump draft down the straight.
That's reportable, isn't it? That's inappropriate conduct.
Definitely a bit too close for comfort there. Of course, teammates, so a little bit of respect being given from both of those drivers. Sebastian Flock, that 40 seconds has cost him 1, 2, 3. No, hang on, I'm just trying to find. Yeaman's still in the pits, just coming out now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 positions. That 40 seconds has cost Sebastian Flock there. speeding in the pit lane, my best guess for that 40-second stop and hold.
That's a tough one to win out this time of night.
Yeah, and certainly that halfway mark, probably not the best time to do it. Flock now, of course, doesn't have Yeaman to work with. He's going to have to really pull through the field by himself. Blake Delaney still... I was just trying to listen to race control in the background, but I've got them turned down a little bit.
All I'm hearing and seeing is what's on screen, so I'll let you look after the race control side of it. But how many more guys have we got left to pit? It's like everyone just about made their way through, haven't they?
Yeah, so Ray Oliver, Jamie Dyke, Blake Delaney, all coming in for their pit stop now. Gavin Simpson, the only one yet to pit. I think he's still coming around. Oh, Nathan Allen. Yeah, so Gavin Simpson's just come in as well. Nathan Allen, the only other driver yet to transit the lane. So we'll just see where he is on track. I think he's probably coming up now to pit, I would think, too. Why the heck can I not hear race control?
Wherever that was, Greg Johnson just taking time and went in there as well. So we're looking at 47-minute mark out of 130. So we've still got a good 43 minutes to go, if my maths is still working okay at this time of night.
Yeah, 42 remaining now.
What's your pick for after one more pit, you reckon, before the end of the day? Or these guys going to try to push it all the way through?
Nah, I think this is definitely a one-stop race. Yeah, I don't think we'll see any guys doing a splash and dash unless, you know, they've chosen to short fuel. But this track isn't really that heavy on fuel, I don't think. Obviously, you got your long straight where you get quite a bit of burn, but through the rest of the track, it's quite flowy. It's not sort of too stop-starty. You carry a lot of momentum, so I don't think fuel burn is going to be a hugely serious issue for most of the field here. As we jump back with Michael Whiting and Adam Simpson, sorry. He currently finds himself in third position after the pit stop. Shuffle.
Right on the back of him as well, yeah. He's putting the pressure on.
Yeah, so I wonder if the top guys have chosen to take tyres, because some of their pit stops were quite a bit slower. Ray Oliver, 51-second pit stop, as was Kyle Ridley. The rest of them all kind of in the 30-second margin. So I definitely think the top two guys have chosen...
He's got a lot better grip than Simpson at the moment. He's looking like he's bound to take that corner a bit more aggressive at the end just then.
Yeah, so I definitely think tyres have been taken. A couple of the AM drivers as well, Braden O'Loughlin, Harry Dodds obviously pitted earlier and took tyres, we saw that. Daniel Yeaman coming into the pit lane again? That could be the drive-through penalty from race control that we missed.
Yeah, he hasn't stopped, he's just gone straight through. Yeah.
We'll see if race control have actually posted it.
Yeah. How's the pace looking? Are these guys slowed down now? Do you reckon they're going to be some fuel saving going to the end?
I mean, we haven't really seen that much fuel saving as of yet. I mean, they're still running pretty consistently in the 39s. Qualifying was sort of mid-38s. So as far as race pace is concerned, they're all still pretty well up there. Most guys, all the pro guys at least anyway, pretty consistently in the sort of 39s, 40s. But yeah, I think fuel saving may be a little bit later on. Just trying to give themselves a bit more when they do start to drive a little bit.
Just behind Ray Oliver, there's the three cars just tagging each other all the way through, and now you got Andrew and Jamie Dyke fighting their way around these next few corners. They've been pretty close the last few laps.
Yeah, definitely. So that's Jamie Dyke trying to get currently sandwiched in between the two kitten cars. obviously running 1 and 2 in the AM class. Jamie Dykes slips in behind Andrew Lydon there, sticks his nose out down the inside of the first turn. Will get the move done, no doubt, into the braking zone. Lydon not going to fight him too hard.
Nice and clean.
Yeah, good driving from all of them there.
Yep. I don't mind the odd door-to-door bump and move around and stuff, but it's good to see clean racing as well.
Yeah, definitely, and we've seen some pretty good passing into turn 1, really, or even some 3 wide manoeuvres a bit earlier on, and yeah, the drivers giving each other quite a bit of space and respect there, keeping it all fairly clean. Most of the incidents have come really from unforced errors so far.
He's going to drive this under team orders, and they're going to get a clause out here.
Yeah, well, I mean, Lydon had kind of been leading the AM for most of it, really. He was sat in behind Block and Yeeman for quite a while. So yeah, they've decided to switch over, obviously, and Daniel Byrne moves up into 7th place ahead of Andrew Lydon now. Blake Delaney chasing them as we see someone there in the background yielding. Thomas just letting the quicker cars through. He's a lap down. Yes, 1 lap down.
It's like Dykes all on the back of Oliver now, so he's waiting for his next nibble.
Yeah, very interesting there. The tyres from Ray and Kyle. Kyle already back up into 2nd place, getting the move done on Adam Simpson just a short while ago. Bruce Tannock has also found himself doing quite well out of the pit shuffle. He's back up in 4th, and that's about where I'll stop the commentary there before he finds himself in last. Ray Oliver finds himself
well,
up into
just did the fastest lap just then, I think.
Where are we? Yeah, 1:38.4, so that is the fastest lap of the race from Daniel Yeeman. Great lap there in the BMW, and both Yeeman.
I do like driving that car.
Yeah, it's probably my favourite GT3 to drive as well, actually. I know most of the crisscross boys tend to favour the Porsche or the Merc at certain tracks. For me, I find the BMW nice and stable, good all-rounder, not the fastest anywhere in particular, but as a series car, I think it offers you a little bit of everything. And for a rookie driver like myself, it's a very reassuring thing to get into. Yeah, good on tyres as well.
Looks like the timing tower is starting to hit a few orange sections up there with Tanner, Oliver and Dyke. They're just sort of jumping in and out on each other. There's going to be 3 of them fighting for that spot very, very shortly.
Yeah, well, I mean, the top, 3rd down to 10th is all pretty well congested, really. There's a nice little train starting to form after the pit stops. The strategy there with the tyres for the juiced boys have kind of put the field a bit closer back together. Usually we'd expect to see this after a safety car, but yeah, Ray Oliver, Jamie Dyke hunting down Bruce Tannock. We've got Blake Delaney all over the back of Daniel Byrne. Very familiar sight from him, being stuck behind the kitten car again. We've seen that for the last 20 minutes now, and Daniel Yeeman right in behind that pack as well, trying to get back through the field after that drive through just a few minutes ago.
It's not going to get any easier. It looks like across the front, these guys are sort of starting to bunch up again, where it was all spread out when they come out of their pits. The tyres are obviously warmed up and nice by now. The AMs are. They've got a bit more gap between them. There's just sort of the fights. Greg Johnson's catching up to Nathan Allen in the back there. He's only one second off the pace there, but the rest of them have sort of spread themselves out a fair bit. We'll see what happens at the back end of the field, but there's always going to be something going on somewhere.
Yeah, definitely the back half of the field as you say, you look down the timing screen, you've got a couple of 10-second gaps, most of them sort of in the 5-6 seconds. So, yeah, bit of driving, bit of breathing space there in the AM class right now. But yeah, as you say, the top 10, the pro guys, really sort of got a few little different battles going on here. Nothing sort of super close, but very much opportunity positions. Adrian Loretti over the back of Yeaman. Yeaman's just got that position through. Daniel Byrne has been passed by Blake Delaney, so he's sticking with him as well. Jamie Dyke and Ray Oliver hunting down Bruce Tannock. So yeah, there's a few little battles there within the top 10. And as far as the championship's concerned, it's going to certainly play out with those points. With Flock not being right at the top in this sort of mid-stage, obviously Capel not making the race due to the driving infringement right at the start, and a couple of other guys. We'd mentioned Adam Hughes, sort of having a bit of a, I don't know what you'd call it, just a bit of a track visit, I suppose, running down in 22nd, not really racing to his ability tonight.
Yeah, I was a bit shocked to see him all the way down there. He's in his standard Porsche. At least I did see him do a bit of a slide out before, so maybe he just wasn't as prepared as he usually is.
Yeah, we did mention a little bit earlier on the stream, he's been a bit of a modern warfare. What's a nice PC word to use? Addict. Over the last couple of weeks, so yeah, probably hasn't had the seat time that you'd usually expect to see from Adam in training over the last wee while.
Yeah.
So Tannock there. Oh no, sorry, we're with Adam Simpson. Tannock right behind him, trying to make a move, but behind Tannock as well is Ray Oliver, Jamie Dyke. So the action is starting to close up. We talked about there sort of being little gaps, but nothing too promising as of yet. We hear Dodds on the chat. Looks like just amateur car or AM drivers yielding positions. So Tannock does make the move up the inside of Adam Simpson. Very clean pass there from Tannock and Pavlik there. Bit of chat, and it seems as though Harry Dodds may have repeated his incident from earlier. We'll see if we can get Toddy to pull up a DSL Welding Services replay. Dodds there just on the radio. It's about the 4th time he's spun at that corner, so we pull up the replay. And yep, there we go. It's that same corner again.
Everyone else is doing it all night. What's with the guys tonight?
Yeah, we sort of talked a little bit earlier, Connor and I were sort of suggesting that perhaps the Mercs aren't running as much rear wing as the other cars, because it seems to be the rear end giving out into the downhill braking zone.
Yep.
Certainly something there with the Merc anyway. It seems to be it seems to be the Merc was having the issue, as we see Adam Simpson dragging Jamie Dyke down the main straight. Jamie Dyke will have the inside line, but it looks like Adam Simpson does have a slight speed advantage. So a bit of bravery on the brakes there from Jamie Dyke. He pulls it up. Bit of a crisscross to come from Simpson. No, he tucks him behind.
Good braking there. Great brake control.
And both of the Fishy boys have cleared Ray Oliver as well. We see that in the background. So that happened off screen as well. And Blake Delaney now starting to close in on this battle pack as well. You see him there chasing down Ray Oliver. So, Ray just not quite having the pace after his pit stop that he had there with Kyle Ridley earlier on.
It's good. I mean, it's good to see the boys always the same sort of faces are always at the front, but it just shows you how much practice these guys put in. It's next level. They're always in the rig doing stuff, and it makes for some amazing fighting. Look, you're looking at still, 5 tenths to 4 tenths from 6th to 3rd, and there's that little buffer. Bruce Tannock is 2 sixths behind Ridley and then Whiting. So Whiting's got a nice little gap out there.
Yeah, well,
at some point he's probably grabbing a bit of tyre, a bit of fuel right now, and ready for an attack from his own fishy boys shortly.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned Michael Whiting there. We've kind of let him slip under the radar. He's currently up into first as we hear Nathan Allen put a call for race control over the radio. So there's been an incident there somewhere. We'll see if we can get Toddy up in the booth to find us a replay of that one. But the battle there up the front certainly heating up a little bit now as Jamie Dyke all over the back of Bruce Tannock. We see him there coming through Coca-Cola up into 100R. Just spaces out a little bit through 100R. Andrew Tannock just getting a slight bit of run through there, up now into the hairpin, where we've seen it go wrong for so many guys. All of them keeping it clean this time through.
Simpson's line was very aggressive through there.
Yeah, definitely a couple of different lines from the cars. The BMWs seem to be running a little bit tighter on exit, getting a bit more drive. The Mercedes there having to really run all the racetrack through.
Yeah, 100%. He's spot on there. You can see, well, he's taking it a bit too much there, but you can see before he was able to turn just that little bit tighter in. That bump has really cost him some drag out of that corner.
Yeah, that little mistake there from Adam Simpson's left himself pretty vulnerable to Ray Oliver, but check out that move
beautiful dive
from Delaney. What a move over Ray Oliver.
Where did he come from?
Blake Delaney sees the door wide open and says, "Thank you, I'm going to have that." And he's got a good run now on Adam Simpson down the straight as well. Let's check to the TSR Welding Services replay. Blake Delaney from way back.
Yeah.
Ray just leaves the door
advantage
wide open.
It's 3 down the main straight. Made a call to race control.
Yeah, looks like I saw the back end of that. It looks as though Tannock may have pushed him a bit wide coming into one. So they'll have a look at it.
It's closed the door on him, I think.
Yeah, so we'll bring up the welding services, DSR welding services replay on that one. Bit of swerving there from Dyke as well. No, I don't think Tannock's moved at all. Tannock hasn't made the corner, but to be fair, I don't think Jamie was going to make that either. So we'll have to see what race control has to say about that. But in my opinion, watching that in real time, it doesn't look as though Tannock has moved. He's certainly gone deep.
Yeah, he's taken it out wide, and he's got to leave.
There, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, there's look, we'll leave it to the RCs, but looks like to me, just from a novice's point of view, there's the door's been shut, and I guess they'll talk about it in great length. The real funny thing is that I was watching Jamie Dyke's car go around that corner, and I just looked to my right on my iRacing, because it's on at the moment, and iRacing decided to put Jamie Dyke's car with my livery on it, so it looks pretty cool.
And in all that incidents as well, Blake Delaney's got through Jamie Dyke as well in that last lap. While we're watching the replay, we see Jamie Dyke there make the move up the inside of Blake, get it back as a bit of a lock up at the back there. Looked like Yeeman locking up there through to get past the kitten car of Adam Simpson and Daniel Byrne. Adam Simpson there calling into race control, so a bit of a lock-up, bit of contact, I think they're coming into one again.
Yeah.
Yeeman making the move though.
But there's all action happening everywhere now, so it's good. We're starting to, there was a bit of a lull there for a while, but have a look at this. 2 sets of cars, 3 wide. Daniel Yeeman, here we go. He's going in. Oh
yeah, definitely some pretty solid contact there.
Yeah. I don't want to judge on that one. That's surprised.
That's definitely a race control call. He certainly made the move, just had the door shut on him a little bit, and it's resulted in contact. So race control will analyse that from a few different angles, and we'll hear shortly on that one.
I'll comment on Bruce's drive now, because every time you've done it so far tonight, he's spun.
Yeah, good. You take that one, mate.
But he's doing well. He's still fighting Dikey off. They're not really catching Ridley at this point. The gap's still 2.6, so he's been keeping the same sort of buffer. But I tell you what, Bruce will be, I don't know, whether Dikey's just going to sit behind him for a while and just let Bruce take all that fresh air against his bonnet and just draft and hold back on the fuel. So I'm not sure what his strategy's going to be there.
Well, I mean, you can certainly see the train behind, can't you? There's a good group of 6 or 7 cars there who are just kind of sitting and wait. But I mean, I'll tell you what, you talk about trying to catch Ridley. Michael Whiting, fishy boss right now, good 2.5 seconds over Kyle Ridley up in front, doing a phenomenal job up there by himself, leading this race. As we see Gavin Simpson slip one over on Adam Hughes, having a bit of a half-effort race tonight.
They've become really good teammates. They've been really helping each other develop and become faster together, from everything I've been hearing on the outside. Well, the whole team's pretty tight. They're always working together.
Yeah, definitely, mate. The camaraderie, I mean, not just in crisscross.
Oh, there's a redress.
All of them.
There's a readdress for that move on Simpson.
Yeah, so that'll be Simpson and Yeeman, I believe, having to redress. As we see Peter Pavlovic in the background drop a couple of positions. He might have some damage, I think, because he's yielding cars left, right and centre. So potentially something's happened there with Peter Pavlovic, because you see...
That is a mighty train of cars, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's... where are we looking? That's put it down the back end of the field, but on the splits on the screen, the timing isn't showing those kind of intervals.
A few AM cars and a few pros.
Yeah, I think we're mixed in with some lap traffic here as well. So, yeah, Blake Delaney in the mix. Yeah, very mixed up. Blake Delaney there, Thomas yields. We go back to Adam Hughes and Greg Johnson, kind of working together a little bit now. Michael Whiting up the front of this race, Ray Oliver just in behind him. He's sort of closed that gap a little bit.
The Dikey and Tanaka, yeah, here we go. Yeah. You know what? He's done what we've been watching for the last hour. That corner, the BMW can just take it so much more aggressively, whereas the Merc has got to take it all the space, and Dyke's taking advantage of him there.
Yeah, definitely. And we see there Delaney in the background just getting all over the back of Ray Oliver, trying a few different unorthodox lines, coming into the corners, really using all the curbs there, trying to get one over on that BMW. But yeah, as you mentioned, the BMW this week just seems to have the most grip through these sweeping corners.
Yeah. Look at the line there straight away. He's taking that left, taking the curb left, and the car in front of him is just taking it wider. Here we go.
It does seem though that the Merc maybe has a little bit more speed down the straight, and I think that again comes down to, we've mentioned on a couple of occasions, the Merc having a bit less downforce in the rear, as we see Tanak trying to drag race the Dyke down the back straight. He even flicks out the outside of the track now. Not quite through wide. There was contact in the braking zone. Bruce Tanak has picked up Jamie Dyke, and they've got a kitten car in the process, and there's still contact with Dyke and Tanak. They're pushing each other off the track here now. This potentially could trigger a safety car. It looks like they've cleaned it all up, but
mate, that's going to be...
Tanak's actually just called through race control Jamie Dyke for a brake check, potentially. Both of them have picked up some pretty substantial damage. Maybe Dyke's even moved into Tanak there on the straight as well. Was the call. We see Jamie there, full lock, trying to save it.
Wow. Jeez, I tell you what, that's one thing I never want to do in racing, is that's RCing. I just don't think that my heart would take the stress levels.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we'll say, what's Tanak doing there?
Yeah, that's Tanak and Dyke. So that's after the incident. They're trying to rejoin, and they've come back together again. So they've both lost.
Holding the brakes.
Yeah, so interesting
Anyway.
sort of how that one will play out. I'll just so there's been another incident. Jamie Dyke's just given himself a drive-through penalty, hitting Daniel Yeaman, it seems. So
Yeah.
that could potentially, well, I don't know whether Jamie Dyke just takes that one on the chin and sort of, you know, takes a drive-through for both incidents, or how that works. But that's Daniel Byrne coming through the pit lane, so he got caught up in that turn 1 incident as well.
Yep.
So that'll concede his race lead for the AM class.
Yep.
He will move.
He'll
definitely find himself down the charts.
It's not much of an AM class. I'm looking at some of the names in this AM class, and there's some bloody fast drivers in that AM class.
Yeah, so I mean the AM class, of course, was decided based on times and positions on
Oh
the
yeah,
first couple of
100%.
rounds.
Yeah, 100%. It's just the quality of the grid is just that good. It's ridiculous.
So race control here, issuing a black flag to Bruce Tanak for the incident responsibility, lap 42, turn 1. That was the one that we saw and reviewed just before. So Tanak there deemed responsible for the contact, obviously getting up the inside of the outside rather of Jamie Dyke.
Yeah.
Bit of a bump on the straight, and then obviously, yeah, sort of straight lining him down to the corner.
And then Dyke's got a black flag
Dyke's,
himself as well.
Yeah, so Dyke's had a black flag for a separate incident, contact on Daniel Yeaman as Ray Oliver gets spinned in turn 1 as well. Blake Delaney makes contact with Ray Oliver and spins him. I think he's pretty much just put his hand up for that one straight away. Oh no, Blake Delaney's claiming to race control.
He thinks there's a
Ray may have moved
in front of him.
Yeah, so we'll see if we can get Tony to pull up a replay for that one. There we go. Asking we shall receive.
Yep. So Ray's saying that he was a back marker there, but yeah, he was by the look of it. Oh.
Yeah, so he was coming down a little bit. Yeah, as you say, there was that back marker there to try and avoid. So could get away with just a racing incident. Thomas, as we see on the live screen, has a bit of a moment to himself as well. Spins out on track. That corner again for the Mercedes, it seems, proving to be difficult for more than just the top drivers.
It's, you know what, a race like this with the being a blue flag guy getting past is damn hard work.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it right at the top of the broadcast. It is a wide track, but it's also not the easiest track to make passes on, and certainly not to yield on. Yeah, it's a wide track, but there's only one line. You can you certainly lose a lot of time if you're not on the optimal racing line.
100%. And if you're not on the optimal racing line, some of these corners are really hard to take at speed. You just end up out nowhere.
Yeah, definitely. So the top 10 have sort of spread out a little bit after all those little skirmishes. So Michael Whiting continues to lead this race. He's got 2-second advantage over Kyle Ridley. Daniel Yeaman sitting up in third now. He's 6 seconds further back. Blake Delaney, who's had a pretty good drive in the last sort of 20 minutes, finds himself up in fourth now. Ray Oliver sitting in fifth, but yet to be pending that race control review for those two drivers.
So that's, what do we got? We've got 15 minutes left. This is the sprint to the finish. Who's looked after their tyres the best and who's got no fuel up their sleeve is just going to go over it. And Michael Whiting is definitely having a nice cruise, isn't he?
Yeah, you're quite right there. I think the tyre battle, definitely Kyle Ridley and Ray Oliver, the only two that we sort of predict took 4 tyres based on their pit stop timers. Was that someone in the grass?
Yeah, it looked like it was...
definitely a line there.
Yeah, it looked like it was maybe Mr. Johnson trying to get out of the way.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, Greg Johnson there on the chat there, trying to yield to the field as we watch Yeeman now with Blake Delaney all over the back of him. So Blake is trying really hard to get that position back over Yeeman. Ray Oliver's had a bit of a moment. I think he's currently 4 seconds further back up the road, so the split definitely wasn't that far following their bit of contact, so not quite sure what's happened there to Ray. Adam Simpson on the back of Andrew Lydon, sorry.
You're doing well with the names, mate. You're doing a lot better than I was last week, that's for sure.
Oh, it's taken every single week to get to a stage where I can almost say most of them confidently. I tell you that much.
Well, I think
every so often.
I spend at least 15 minutes in Discord apologising for inappropriate names.
Oh yeah, I still can't get Jack right, so I'm glad he's not here this week. So I'm not mispronouncing his name.
Going 3 wide around that corner. If you oh no! What happened there?
So Adam Simpson, that was Nathan Allen there with the contact. Adrian Loretti and Andrew Lloyden there getting through pretty
He's gone
clean.
right. He's got tapped in the bum.
I think the initial tap was fine. That was a bit of a racing incident. But
I don't
yeah,
think he knew he was there by the look of it.
I think he would have known when he was there. He's turned right down onto him. Surely he knew he was there because he's come from behind. So it'd be interesting to see how that one plays out. Race Control reviewing that one now.
Yep.
As we jump back with Nathan Allen there, chasing down Gavin Simpson.
Also, Ridley's actually catching Whiting. He's got down to 1.2, and we've got 11 seconds, 11 minutes left. So he's put the foot down. I'm not sure if Whiting's lap times have slowed down or if Ridley's lap times have increased, but that gap is definitely dropping.
Looking at the I don't know how that works. It'll be an off track, that's why. Ridley's last lap was a 39.12. His best lap was a 39.14. So, yeah, he has set his fastest lap of the race, albeit with an off track.
Yep.
Michael Whiting, his last lap was a minute 40. So, yeah, about a second difference there that last lap. So Kyle Ridley has found a little bit of pace. And yeah, as you say, he's got 10 minutes now to close in that gap a little bit.
Yep. Well, what's the draft gap on this track at the moment? Under 1.2, under 1.5?
It really varies a little bit. It's been quite interesting. The draft hasn't always been the most effective way of doing things. If you can get good exit at Panasonic, they tend to be beating them, heads up on the drag race. More so than the slipstream, so it's been quite interesting. And then, of course, bravery into turn 1 braking zone has been the key as well.
Yeah. So that looks like the M's have pretty much sorted themselves out to Lydon, Loretti, and Lachlan, and the gap behind there to Burn, who's just set the fastest AM time. Doesn't look like there's going to be, unless someone gets a bit brave or really under a blue flag.
Yeah, Delaney and Proctor, sort of paired on track, but Delaney not really showing. It's Ty Delaney. Just looking off. Not really showing too much intent there on Proctor. Just waiting, I think, for an opportunity. Of course, Blake is just behind on track as well. So, potentially they could work together, try to make that pass work. But Blake is running in 4th, so he'll probably want to clear them pretty quickly as Johnston makes contact with one of the juice cars. Looks to be coming into the hairpin. So he's around on track. He's just sitting there waiting He'll be watching the relative, yep, and he's going to rejoin now. Got a couple of cars coming, so you need to be a little bit aware of that.
Yep.
Holding around the outside. Very good job there from Greg with a safe rejoin.
It's alright, he's made it clear. Yeah, once you get the tyres all dirty in this car, it takes a few laps to, or at least half a lap to clean it up a bit.
And
it
Yeaman
looks like,
just improved his fastest lap time, 38.19. I think that was even faster than the qualifying time. So
Yeah.
blistering pace there from Yeaman. He's hunting down Kyle Ridley as well.
Yep.
Currently running in third.
Taking no prisoners at the moment.
So the battle for the podium certainly heating up a little bit. Blake Delaney finds himself 7 seconds, just over 7 seconds, sorry, off the top three. Currently stuck behind Andrew Proctor on track, trying to get that position passed. But yeah, it's Michael Whiting, Fishy Boss, Kyle Ridley and Daniel Yeaman, all within a couple of seconds of each other as we come down to the last 8 minutes of this race. So probably another 6 or 7 laps, I suppose, maximum. And yeah, everything to play for here.
Being in Blake's position right now, he's just going to try to keep it clean and fast and hope that someone doesn't slip up in front of him and take advantage of the situation. Especially if Yeaman catches Ridley and they start fighting against each other.
Yeah, definitely that battle could prove very costly time-wise. We talked about Delaney there trying to use Blake to his advantage and getting past Proctor. He just stuck his nose up the inside there, coming up to turn 1, but he's chosen to slip in behind, so he is right on the bumper there. That's probably the most likely pass to come from the AM class within the last few minutes. The rest of the field pretty well spread out, and that is for where are we? Position 6 in AM.
Yeah. That's young Ty in front of his dad, and he's having a nice little battle there as well in front of him with Proctor.
Yeah, and sort of as I alluded to, you know, Blake might sort of be giving Ty that little bit of encouragement, that little bit of help, just to try and make the move on Proctor. Oh, sorry, I was just listening to race control there. Nathan Allen has been issued a black flag, incident responsibility for an incident on lap 45, so I'm not quite sure if we covered that one. As Greg Simpson has a bit of a moment to him. Oh,
yeah,
yes, we did.
Cars. Yeah. He's going to be dirty on himself for that. I can just hear him in the back of my head going off.
Definitely.
But I'd love to know if Ty and Blake's rigs are side by side, how they got set up at home, or in a separate part of the room or something. He's taking a nice drift on him at the moment.
Yeah, I know when Stefan and I were flattened together a few years back, we had our rigs in the same room, and to be honest, it really made no difference other than the fact you had 2 very high MPCs turning it into a sauna. You know, when you stick your headphones on and you're in race comms anyway, you don't really talk to each other that much face to face. You're sort of more focused on your driving, and you might chuck the odd chat and comms. But yeah, you certainly, if I had the choice, you'd want them in separate rooms, because as I mentioned, those gaming PCs, when they're chewing through something like iRacing with all your hardware going, it certainly gets quite warm, and of course you're sweating. You're sweating anyway when you're putting in the amount of effort these guys do with their direct drive wheels and whatnot. So
yeah, doing a great job, Ty. Every time I see him get on track, he looks like he's smoother and smoother. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with as he gets older and gets experience under his belt.
I mean, he's a force to be reckoned with now. You know, he's probably week in, week out, not always the fastest driver, but definitely the most consistent. You don't really see him getting caught up in incidents all that often. He sort of just, you know, goes about his business and runs it pretty clean. He can race hard when he needs to, but Yeah.
Well, he's got a good built-in coach.
Well, yeah, of
Mr.
course,
Coleman
definitely.
Mr. Coleman's just reached out to us on YouTube and said they're in the same room.
They are in the same room, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, you know, you may be in the same room, but probably not really talking to each other. You know, face to face, sort of more in Discord. And yeah, they're going to try and work together here to get past Proctor. Blake slips in behind. No, he does make the dive as well up the inside.
Nice move.
Yeah, great move from the
That was,
boys.
That was not a bad move because he actually pushed him wide to give Ty a bit more time as well. So that was nice.
Yeah, definitely a bit of teamwork there from the father and son duo. Although Proctor's stuck right with him, he's not giving up that position.
Not at all.
And we see the BMW is definitely stronger into this corner. Oh, and they've made contact. Proctor sees it too hard.
Which way was the contact? I didn't see that.
So Proctor went up the inside, made contact from the inside on Delaney. So definitely incident caused there by Proctor. It'll be a racing incident, no further action, I would assume, given that Proctor's Proctor's just cost himself quite a few positions.
It looks like he's got some understeer going straight into him there.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've talked about the BMW being so strong in that corner over the Mercedes, but I think he's just left it far too late.
Yep. While we've got a bit of a lull, please like, subscribe, get onto the subscriptions as much as you can, guys. We've got heaps that have come up in the last few weeks, so aim is to hit 1,000, then we draw the fantastic racecraft rig and seat. So just under $2,000 worth of amazing equipment. So don't be shy. Like, subscribe, tell all your friends to come and like, subscribe, and just spend some time watching, because some of this racing is great. If you're just a rookie starting and you're watching some of this racing, it is great to see some of the racing lines and some of the tactics these guys play.
Yeah, definitely a massive prize for someone in the sim racing community to win. And you mentioned the rookies there as well. You know, you start off as a privateer. If you're fortunate enough to get picked up by one of the teams, what have we got? Crisscross Kitten, Fishy, sort of your main sort of four that run here as well. A couple of the more serious guys in Yeeman, Capel, and Flock and whatnot. But you know, these sort of Australia, New Zealand-based teams. If you can get in with one of them, they'll pick you up. These guys are more than willing to teach and to help and to work together. Our community's pretty supportive most of the time. Obviously, we do get the odd argument here and there, fighting over who had what corner and whatnot, but it's all in good faith and all in good spirit at the end of the day. We're all here for a bit of fun. And
community at SRW is that you don't even have to be in the team. Sometimes people are really willing to help you and give you tips on what they see and stuff. Like
definitely. We've got 30 seconds to go. Potentially the white flag. The overlays haven't been showing the white flag.
He's got out that corner nicely. He's got out that corner real nice. Now he's got to be careful at that famous corner where the Mercs are spinning at the moment.
Yeeman makes the move up the inside on Coca-Cola, runs a wide line, goes for a crisscross. Whiting sticks on the outside line, looking to set up a good run into the hairpin. Yeah, tries to run that tight line, but the Merc doesn't like it there too much. He's had to use all the exit curb. So at this point now, I think probably just trying to sit in behind, get a good run at a Panasonic and see if he can run it up the straight. Adam Hughes there in the background.
Yeah, Hughes in the background's done a bit of a
shocker.
Ooh, that wasn't the cleanest corner out of both those then.
Yeah, and Kyle Ridley's really caught up just in the last few corners as well. So he's also got a chance now of getting a move done. But it will be Yeeman starting from the back of the field, leading through the final lap, or potentially the final lap. We're not 100% certain. Time is up now. So I'm not quite sure. Driver chat has been disabled. So I think this will be the checkered flag we're coming up to here. Yes, it is. So Daniel Yeaman will take the win over Michael Whiting. A great drive from him. And Kyle Ridley will come home in third place in the Juiced Racing car. Further down the field, we have Blake Delaney coming home in fourth place now. Crossing the line just behind him is Ray Oliver. We have Andrew Lydon and Adrian Giretti in the two kitten cars, leading the AM field. They come over in 6th and 7th overall. Sebastian Flock, after that 40-second stop and hold, and a penalty as well to boot, I believe, will be coming home in 8th, just crossing the line, or not. Surely he's not run out of fuel.
Oh, no, his name's got a checkered flag after it, so he must have crossed the line.
He must have crossed the line.
Yeah. He might not stand after the ball down.
So Gavin Simpson coming home in 9th. Adam Simpson will round out your top 10. Although Daniel Byrne, right on the back bumper of him across the line.
Has he made it?
No, he hasn't.
Oh, he does.
Nah,
Adam. Great.
Yeah, Adam Simpson.
This is
still
where
holds on to 10th, 8 thousandths of a second there.
Yeah, this is where you got to. It's a fantastic thing I love about our league is that there's a fight everywhere, absolutely everywhere, and I love that. That is awesome.
Yeah, definitely. So I think maybe a bit of action going on. Yeah. So the grid there. So the Juice Boys coming home in formation. The top 3 are going to line up on the grid in their respective first, second, third. Although it seems as though Yeaman and Whiting have already left the track, so that might not be happening.
Wow. So Hughesy I think just made it, need a bit of a push. So,
yeah, so the fuel game proves to be a little bit closer than we thought. A few of these guys running out just after the line. A couple of guys requiring a splash and dash there. Bruce Tannock took an extra pit. That could have also been a bit of damage. Ty Delaney found himself through the lane 3 times, as did Andrew Proctor, as did Braden O'Loughlin. So, yeah, sort of we weren't really expecting the fuel game to come into this, but right at the end there, we've seen
number of cars.
A little number of cars there, just not quite getting the calculation right.
Yeah. The is it the AMs that did it because they're just pushing that a little bit harder?
Potentially. Yeah, we see Lydon, Loretti, Byrne. Yeah, all the AMs seem to have made a second pit stop. Blake Delaney probably the only one that's made 2 in the pros, but he did have that damage really early on. So I do believe we have some drivers ready in the green room. I'll get Toddy to pull them down. We have the AM drivers first. We will start with third position in the AMs. I'm just going to disconnect from iRacing because
the chat is still going on.
The chat's still going on, and it's quite distracting.
And you know what? It's good banter. The guys are actually sitting back. Look, it's a tough race like this. You're going to see a little bit of bump and grind and everything like that. But it's really good to hear them after the race, sorry about this, I've got a bit late and this and that. And and they had a bit of a chin wag, and it's all sorted and done with. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way, but you know what? 9 times out of 10 it does, which is good.
Yeah, always nice
Mr.
when they can
Gerard.
Gentlemen, how are we?
have the chat. Sorry, I've just lost my screen. Bear with me, dudes.
Can barely hear you, Mr. Gerard. Are you there?
Yeah, how about now, mate? Can you hear us?
A little bit louder, and you'll be right. I think Toddy will be able to fix that for us.
Oh, beautiful.
So how was that for you, mate?
Oh, mate, I'll be honest with you, that was a shocker. I was actually quite surprised that I even got on the podium. So, I mean, I'll take it all day, but I just had no practice this week and until tonight, and yeah, it was just kept on spinning out, making silly mistakes. But hey, a podium's a podium. I'll take it all day.
Yeah. I think what did was it Daniel Burnett finish in front of you? Must have had a penalty or something like that.
I think so. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to think who was where, and yeah.
Daniel Byrne shows on the screen as an AM driver, but he's actually classed as a pro. So
that's what it is.
There's a bit of a glitch in the overlays there. So he was showing a hit on the AM screen, but
well, Matthew, you know what? A podium's a podium, mate. Even if it's a messy night, it's a good one. It just means you're consistent enough to be up there.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, look, hey, consistency was the key at the end, I guess. And Braden, I believe he had a stop and go. He was saying at the end there, so he would have had podium. But hey, racing's racing. That sort of stuff happens.
Exactly what it is, mate. It's all about keeping it clean. And you might have had a few little squeaky tire moments, but you know it was good enough to get you up to the podium. So well done.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to the boys at up the very top end of the table. They're very quick, aren't they?
They are. It's amazing the pace we have in this league at the moment, and it's from everything I'm seeing, it's going to get faster next season.
Oh yeah, 100%, Dave. 100%.
So I'm thinking I might have to have a third level just so I can compete.
Oh, very good.
Well, mate, do you want to thank any sponsors? Give anyone a wave out there?
Hey, look, I've joined up with Velocity Sim Labs, so shout out to all those boys and everyone who's involved with them, and yeah, they're backing that they're giving me at the moment. So cheers for that, boys.
No worries, excellent, mate. Well, enjoy the rest of the season. We've got a few more, fair few rounds to go. You're still competing in the V8s and I think it's the Porsches.
No. I'm on neither of those. I'm in the TCR.
That's it, the TCR. That's it.
The TCR. It's my side of things. So yeah.
Yep. We'll keep it going, mate. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Awesome, boys. Thanks very much, eh?
Cheers, mate. Mr. Larudi, what do you got to say for yourself, mate? Can you hear us?
Yes.
I thought you were going to pass out on us. How was that, mate?
Yeah, no, it was good. I wasn't actually going to race tonight, and then had a look at got the kids to bed, had a look at the time, quickly jumped on, and yeah, I did zero practice, so happy with that.
Nice. Obviously not as much practice as you put in the F3s.
No, I actually do practice a little bit there, but no, this one here, when I can, I'm trying to jump in on it, something different.
Well, it seems like the skills are translating across pretty good. You're in the, to finish on a podium in the AMs is pretty bloody good. I would be still probably doing laps at this point, which was not unusual. But you're having a good run in the F3s, and now to have a podium in here, you're having a good season.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I actually enjoy this car. It's a nice car to drive. If I had a proper setup, it'd probably be a bit better, but I literally just chose, I think, medium downforce, the iRacing one, and off I went. It actually felt alright, but it's obviously more time in it.
Yeah, definitely 100%. You're competing in in this and the F3s at the moment. Planning to continue with them next season, or are you planning on expanding and trying something else as well?
Basically, I got my kids, so if I get my kids to bed, I can't do the 7 o'clock ones. It's quite hard. The later races I can do, so any later ones, I'm happy to jump in whenever, to be honest, if something's available.
So do the kittens looking after you at the moment, and I guess the team is growing. Every time I see that there's more and more kittens. At first when I saw you guys pop up, I was only 2, I said, oh, it's all right, you know, people won't work out what a kitten is. And then all of a sudden, we look, there's 3, now there's 4, now there's 6. Is anyone else coming on board?
I think, what do we got? We've got 6, there's probably 6 or 8 of us in total across a couple different leagues, but yeah, if people want to jump on board, then we'll keep expanding.
Well, you know what? The team always looks good, looks sharp, deliveries look good, and all your drivers, I'll tell you what, I'll take your hat off. Very fair, very good drivers, very fast drivers. Always leave room, very respectful on track, and it's exactly what we like at SRW. So thanks for coming across and enjoying us.
Thank you. Yeah, we try to be as clean as possible. Probably a little bit too nice some points, but no, it's good.
Excellent. So apart from kittens, anyone else you want to thank?
Yep, so thank AML Technology, and then Driver808 on YouTube. And say hello to my kids, Daniela and Michael.
Yeah, they'll play that back and they'll see it tomorrow.
That's it.
All right, mate. Have thanks for the race tonight, and good luck for the rest of the season.
No worries. Thank you. See ya.
Good, mate.
Alrighty,
Yeah,
Andrew.
this one,
Yeah, alrighty, Andrew Linden, race winner in the AMs. Talk us through your race, mate.
Oh, just trying to stay out of trouble, keep it clean, and not getting the pros guys way too much on the way through because they're coming back through the field. And yeah, it's pretty uneventful race for me, really.
Yeah, definitely. You talk about staying out of the pros' ways. It seemed like in the early stages you kind of found yourself in behind Yeeman and Flock there. Was that a bit of a strategy for you, trying to stick behind them and work your way through the field?
No. It was really a case of just setting my own pace, staying out of trouble, find a nice rhythm, and just try and keep it clean all the way through. It's a long race, and I knew there wouldn't be too many safety cars here to sort of make up any gaps if I made a mistake. So it was just very much a case of keeping it all pretty conservative.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. You sort of found, you talk about that pace, you definitely found a rhythm there, and you were sort of in and amongst the pro cars, and you were looking quite competitive there for a while, and you sort of drove away with the AM a little bit there. You had a few moments later on when you hooked up with your teammate there, and what was the chat like in the Kittens Discord? Was there any sort of tactics going on?
To be completely honest, no. It was more, I picked up the pace a bit there to make sure I stayed ahead of Adrian, and so there wouldn't be any discussions around tactics, and that paid off. I knew he's pretty good at conserving fuel as well, so I was conserving a little bit, but just I was running pretty close at the end. If there was another lap, I would have been in trouble.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Hey, so any sponsors you need to thank for tonight, mate?
Yeah, Kittens, AML Technologies, Driver808, TDK Civil, and a big shout out to Darren with his broken finger.
Definitely, mate. Hey, congratulations on the race win in the AM class this week, and we'll see you again next week, no doubt.
Cheers, guys. Catch you later.
Take care, mate.
Alrighty, that concludes our podium for the AM race. We'll move into the pros now. And third place in the pro class, Kyle Ridley in the Juiced Racing BMW entry.
Ridley, drag him up.
Any second now. There we go, I got him.
There it is.
Kyle Ridley, talk us through your race, mate.
Hi, yeah. It was a quiet race at the front for the first stint, but took tyres, maybe shouldn't have, but couldn't quite catch P1 afterwards. It was a real hard, tough race, concentrating on not making a mistake but keep the lap times up. Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, definitely. It seemed like it was just you and Ray that took tyres there. Obviously, that was something you guys had planned out before the race.
Yeah, I did the practice session and I ran a whole fuel tank and my tyres were down to 40%, but in the race with the rubber going on the track, they were more like 60%. Could have made it, wasn't too sure. I was hoping the other guys, their tyres would drop off towards the end, but it just didn't materialise.
Yeah, and what was the fuel load like for you, mate? We sort of saw a few drivers towards the end there, running out after the line. Was that an issue for you as well, or?
A little bit of the opposite. I had an extra lap. I thought the race would do one extra lap, so I'm trying to save that extra lap. Would have lost a little bit of time doing so, but if the race had bought an extra lap, I would have had the fuel. But it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It seemed like the race was sort of won and lost on the pit stop strategy today, and certainly a close battle there on track towards the end. We saw you sort of stick your nose up there and have a crack at Yeaman and Whiting. What was the passing opportunities like? Generally, obviously, you ran the first half kind of at the front and sort of dominating it, but what was the passing like in the second half?
It was pretty good. You could just use the massive straight to get a good draft, dive it on the inside. There's a few good, even like double hairpin sections, a good place to pass. It's a nice track. It's one of my favourites. Probably why I had a bit of extra pace than I did. And yeah, there's a few good opportunities.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Obviously, Juiced, one of the main sponsors for the team. Any others you need to give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, of course, I want to shout out Juiced Energy, All Sports Racing, Toyo Sim, the Pet Door Company, and FH Creative, all good partners of our team. And yes, I want to give them all big thanks.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Awesome. Congratulations. Third place here at Fuji this week, and we'll see you again next Friday.
Thanks. See you then.
I think we're missing Mr. Whiting.
Yeah, it seems as though fishy boss Mr. Whiting doesn't want to talk to us. We do have Daniel Yeaman sitting in the green room. Someone's already dragged him down, beating me to it. Daniel, mate, are you there?
Yes, hey guys.
Yeah, hey mate. Talk us through your race, mate.
Well, yeah, a week off with busy elsewhere last week. I missed that at rounds. Goodness me, I've already forgotten exactly where you guys were at last week. So,
Philip, I don't know.
Phillip Island, that's a good one for me to miss. I absolutely have personal gremlins at that track, so yeah, there's that. But yeah, look, just a different car this week. Try out something here with the BMW and see how it went tonight at Fuji. And yeah, long story short, the car felt great. Obviously, moment there with Jamie, hand up for that one there. Just ended up being a bit hot, trying to make sure I cleared Michael through that corner prior, and converging lines didn't turn it down enough. So apologies there to Jamie there for spinning him and setting him back a bit. So penalty as was necessary there from race control. And so it just really became a management game. It was a little tight on fuel, so I was watching that number closely throughout the race, and tyres in this car do go off a little bit, and you can very easily burn the rears, but it was the fronts tonight that were definitely going to work out. But they held on together, they held on quite nicely as things stood, so just a matter of just continuing to put in consistent laps and eventually chase down the guys ahead and get that move done there at the end on Michael. And yeah, so credit to him there. Good defense, just able to pin me out of the wall there and finish the move at turn 3.
Yeah, well, that's you're going to catch him at that point because you're like 5 seconds off him at one point.
Yeah, that was all down to having the drive-through. I've got SDK on my own end personally, so I just had it up and watching that as the race went on, and yeah, just kept watching. I was gaining about a second a lap, and I thought maybe a bit unrealistic when I came out of the pits after that drive-through in the mid-phase, but got to about half hour to go, and I reckoned I was in with a good chance. So it was just a matter of as many laps as possible, hit the marks and on the money, and it came through together there with a chance at the end.
Yeah, definitely a pretty detailed description of the race there. You sort of ran through the early stages with Sebastian. Obviously, that was sort of planned from the get-go. Did it change much after you both got those penalties and you found yourself split up on track?
No, not really. We're both looking to maximise results and test ourselves by starting from the back at this stage. And so, yeah, obviously not ideal to lose what was effectively a drafting partner and someone I could coordinate with there on tyre strategy and make sure we were A-OK, but I had the numbers with me, had a feel of the car underneath me as well, and it just meant that I had to work a little smarter and harder through the corners to make up for the downfall on the straights.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Hey, any sponsors you need to thank and give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, to all the boys at Drop M Motorsport, big thanks to them for being part of the team, to all the team partners on the car, and Coast Engineering Solutions, Sam Blacklock Media, Hybrid Racing Simulations, and Revolution Race Gear, as well as Beyond Blue. It's another one for our current fundraising drive there to add to the tally for this year. And look, yeah, big thanks to the SRW team for having me in part way through and allowing me to drive when I can here on Friday nights. Hopefully come back a couple more times with the last couple of rounds here and try and keep my nose clean and to wrap things up here.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Always welcome to come in and yeah, you certainly put on some interesting racing. Starting from the back and working your way through the field, it's certainly a hell of an achievement. You know, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, I'd be quite happy to start on pole and win a race, but to do it from the back is something quite special. And you certainly seem to be doing it, or getting up to the pointy end week in and week out, and it's a hell of a credit to your ability there, mate.
Yeah, cheers, appreciate it.
Not a problem. Congratulations, race winner here, round 5, round 6, round 6 here at Fuji Speedway, and that does conclude the broadcast once again. Top 3 in pro: Daniel Yeaman, Michael Whiting, Kyle Ridley. The top 3 in AM: Andrew Lydon, Adrian Loretti, and Kevin Simpson. No, Adam Simpson. I've lost. Oh, Matthew Gerard. Sorry, I was trying to find it on the screen. There we go. Matthew Gerard.
Yes, that's it.
Yep, no, we're right. We got it. I just spoke to them 2 minutes ago. I've forgotten already. Terrible.
Look, after calling names all night, it's
yeah.
You got to take that one.
It just all becomes dyslexic letters on a screen at a certain point. That does conclude the broadcast, the DSL Welding Services GT3 Enduro Series Round 6 at Fuji. Thanks, Todd, for putting it up there. I got it right this time. Our round sponsor, Racecraft, and to all our other sponsors in the SAW League, remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for that massive Racecraft giveaway. A huge prize pack there for one lucky subscriber. To Connor, who started out the broadcast, to SAW boss Stephen for jumping in very, very last minute, to Toddy up in the production booth. I have been Brendan. It's been a pleasure to have you all on board here, and we will see you all again next week. Sunday night, for the Vert Supercars, and then again next week for another action-packed week of racing.